Once Mark Twain said that everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. We could say the same thing about the mentality that dominates today's world. Everybody says, with good reason, that we need to re-examine and move forward more cautiously about a mentality that dominates our actions. We need something like a new consciousness, more basically even a new spirit. The two things hang together. A new consciousness brings a new spirit. And if you have a new spirit, that will encourage the birth of a new consciousness. Significantly, a manifesto that has originally been authored by myself together with the Dalai Lama claims to speak about the spirit of planetary consciousness. We are not talking about the consciousness itself, but about the spirit that gives birth to it and that maintains it. We have to make sure that this is a positive spirit. It can't be an accidental coincidence that we are here in this situation. It can't be that it just happens to be so, because the chances would bring us many more negative outcomes than now. A pure chance universe at the mercy of fortune would have brought a collapse much sooner than this. Even as it is, a collapse is on the horizon. But at least we can inject a level of consciousness, which means that we recognize that the spirit that we need is something that we can grasp, it's something that we can recognize, something that we can develop and work with. But we have to know what it is. We have to know how to define it. Now it so happens, as I mentioned, there is a document, a manifesto on the spirit of planetary consciousness. This manifesto, in its various sections, spells out in detail what the new spirit is like, what kind of mentality we need to live, to thrive, to flourish on this planet. We can bring this spirit about. This is a conscious plan. This is a plan which is a sacred mission of humanity. On it depends on the success of the great experiment with consciousness on this planet. The spirit that we need is one of cooperation, one of search and understanding for oneness, for mutual admiration, appreciation, and love. All this is possible when we recognize that this is the only thing that can bring us forward in this very difficult situation. The crisis can be avoided, averted. We can move forward in unison. We are one planet, one humanity. We cannot help but create a mentality that is divided, that is part of each person. Each of us is part of the spirit. Each of us can contribute to it. We need this new spirit, which is such that mankind, humanity, can flourish in cooperation on this planet. We have the document. It has been signed by the Dalai Lama, by other illustrious, famous spiritual people, leaders. We need to look at it again and move forward with the understanding that we have the task in our hand. We can move forward to recognize this task and to act, to realize it. The planetary consciousness is the sacred mission of humanity. This is the spirit that we need. Let us not delay in moving forward on it. We are one on this planet. Our consciousness is one, but we have to recognize it and act like it. Without it, we could just feel swamped by so many different aspects, so many different voices and suggestions. Underneath it all, not oneness in the sense of being on only one thing, but oneness in the sense of being many things in unison, many things, or working together, together towards maintaining the human presence on this small planet. This is our task. I talked about a holotropic attractor in my work, meaning an attractor, which is a voice, an intent, an inducement, a leaning toward something, and this attractor creates life, creates oneness on this planet. So I say, a planetary attractor. This is what we have in front of us as a task. Act accordingly. This is possible for everybody. This is possible for humanity. We are planning to develop projects, concrete projects of people's participation, many people's participation, such that this attractor comes to expression, becomes conscious. We are not here by chance. We are here because an attractor is acting on every bit of our being, on every syllabus, every element, every quantum of our being is attracted. We are all part of a movement forward which is thoroughly embedded in this idea, infused with this idea that we have oneness, which we can create as a unison, as participation, as a joint seeking to be what we are meant to be, and a living, striving, forward-looking community of life, humanity. That is our mission. I hope we can all count on you, the listener or the viewer, to participate in this project. On it depends the future of humanity. It's a sacred mission. Sacred not in the religious sense, but in the sense that this is uniquely important, cannot be replaced, cannot be altered. This is the task we have, to create a oneness-oriented, a holotropic attractor. Holos, wholeness, tropic, tendency toward wholeness on the planet. That is the key to moving forward and to create the human community as a living entity on the planet, moving together, hand in hand, life in life, spirit to our spirit, toward developing that highest level of oneness in which we can speak about a multiple elements, spirit, a spirit that's made up of many things, many people, but is united in the fact that it is not opposing against anything. It's not against moving forward. It is toward oneness. That is our project. I invite everybody listening to this and viewing this video to join us. The door is open. We would like to create a project consisting of a series of tasks in which the new spirit, the new old spirit, because this has been known for centuries and centuries, the spirit that we need can flourish, can become expressed in concrete action on this planet Earth.